What's going on, people? This is Pastor Make at Patreon. You got myself in the building, E-Man. You got Deji to the right, to the left of me, I should say.
Yep.
You got Tim.
Yes.
And you got Shake.
Yes, sir.
And some of the guys who were late, which you guys won't even know, but they were late. They've left early as well.
Yeah.
So just
Came
four of us
late,
today.
left early. Crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. They're gonna see this as well.
And part-timers, isn't it?
Part-time.
Mayonnaise around their lips.
This is crazy.
But yeah, I was just thinking the other day, yeah. I was just thinking about relationships and just the dynamic of relationships. And like this day and age, 50% of married people get divorced. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, it's been a fact. Yeah.
That's actually
it's probably
a crazy
it's
stat.
probably getting higher as like the times are going along.
What's the stat? 50?
About
Like
50%.
50%.
Insane.
Of
More
people
than
who get married
half
get
people get divorced. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Well, do
you know?
they? I guess you don't know that if they get remarried again.
No, you don't know.
To the same person.
And you don't, and you don't know how long they've been married for, but you just know because some people might get divorced in like the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Some people might have done 25, 30 years.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a good marriage. If you've been 40 years, and
Do you feel like that's a successful marriage if you've been married 40 years and then you break up? Because I feel like marriage is supposed to be
for life, yeah.
For life, yeah.
But it's more respectable than someone that was just with
yeah, of course, yeah.
because 4 years with someone like if
You can't really call that a mistake, innit?
yeah, because you spent a whole life. I'm sure you must have brought up kids and you lived a life together. And if you got to the point where you decided to divorce at that age, then something
Who's
happened.
divorcing after 40?
Because that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because there's no going back. After that, you're basically alone.
Yeah.
Unless you've got some nice thing, when you're like
Probably
60,
though,
70
you're
year
40,
old.
yeah, as in 40 years after marriage, your kids are gone. They're living by themselves. You're by yourself. You're stuck with your missus. And you might just feel like, you know what?
so
I'm
true.
free now. I could do whatever I want.
That's,
There's dating for old people now. Like you could do whatever you
bro,
want.
that's facts. There must be like a huge proportion of people, that were together to raise up their kids.
Yeah.
And once their kids have gone, they're gone university, whatever, and left the house, they realize that their marriage is just like not lit. Like they're
So
not.
why do you think they got married in the first place?
Maybe they had love, and then that love died, but they stayed together because they wanted to raise their kids. And then that was the focus of the relationship, was around supporting and being a family unit for their kids. Once their kids have gone to university or maybe married or whatever.
So why did they get married in the first place?
That's with a lot of African parents though. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of African parents are only together to support the kids. If you're being real about it, or for religious purposes as well. Like they don't believe in divorce and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like obviously, does you're married. But does the statistic make you guys scared of marriage, or does it change your thoughts on marriage?
What do you think?
No, for me, like I'm happily married. I know this because I've been I was in a relationship with her for like 5 years before we got married. So I know for certain this is someone I'm going to be the rest of my life with. So obviously there's been changes in terms of like going out, dating, marriage. There's always been changes. We've changed. But it's in a case of we're changing together, so it's something I want to stick with. I'm looking forward when we start a family. When they grow up, then it'll be a case we'll be back together again. So I just see it as a marriage with someone. This is someone you're gonna be the rest of your life. Even when you have kids, because after when you have kids, they're gonna move out, they're gonna go away, so you're gonna be still with this person for the rest of your life. So I always think that's important to always have the right person. So I just see it as this is your person for the rest of your life, and I already spent enough time with them before marriage to know that I can spend the rest of my life with them.
So you feel like those 5 years gave you 100% certainty?
Yeah,
that
for
you're
sure,
gonna
for
marry?
sure.
And was you prepared for the changes that you were gonna make? Like say, like before you got married, did you know, okay, when I'm married, everything that I'm gonna change in my life, I'm mentally prepared for that, and I'm comfortable with that?
Yeah, I think the first thing is like obviously now I need to think solely about this person I'm with. So that's probably the main thing now. Like it's not down to myself anymore. Like I need to start to consider this person before most people, like for everything.
Yeah.
You know? So anything I do, I have to consider this other person with me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna consider that as well when we start having a family. I got to put this family first before. Sounds crazy to say before my immediate family. So or it's kind of like a merge together. So there's a lot of things to consider. So there's always been something in my mind that's always gonna happen. But I think the main thing is this person's going to be with you the rest of your life. So that's got to be your partner. That's got to be your everything, basically. Almost like everything.
No, it's good to hear that from you as well. Like you had that 100% certainty. Like you knew things were going to change as you got with her, but you're willing to ride that storm. What about you guys though? Like in terms of, you know what the statistic is in terms of divorce.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you could get married to someone without 100% certainty that you want to marry that person?
Yeah, and I think facts you're not. There's not going
Or
to
do
be.
you think
100%.
anyone's ever 100%?
There's never 100% certainty. There's always a element of you just kind of going in the deep end and just hope for the best. Obviously,
I guess you can say almost like you're not sure if you're gonna be ready, but you know you spend your life. Does that make sense? It's almost like you're not ready for marriage, but you know that you're just gonna do it because
exactly.
Yeah.
You want to spend the rest of your life.
If you decided to go and marry someone, then obviously there's someone that you see a future and a potential with in terms of building a family and, you know, going the distance with. But you're basically going from one stage in your life when you're either single or, you know, you're not married to that. That's a whole nother world. Like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into other than what's been advertised, you know, like what marriage is going to be like in terms of like what your expectations are. And sometimes like not a lot of people are like or prepared for that, not comfortable, prepared for that. Obviously, like I'm one of those people that's like, obviously I'm not married, I don't have kids, and the thought of that drastic change is intimidating. I'm not gonna lie, like it's different. Like it's not natural. It's not anything I've lived in my life up until this point in my life. So I know that I need to mentally prepare myself, and the only way I can even remotely get comfortable with that change is by being with the right person for me. That's me.
Yeah, I think the statistic doesn't scare me per se because I think a lot of those statistics will be full of people that maybe did it in a way that I would never have done it.
Yeah.
As in like people that got married after a year or got married at like 22 and stuff like that. Like I think a lot of those statistics would the makeup of it would be people that maybe have done it in a way that I would just never do it.
Yeah.
I think when you've been for somebody like in Tim's story for like a significant period of time, you've had time to assess them and you know that this could potentially be a life partner and you're at least going to be content spending the rest of your life with this person, or at least you feel like that in the time, then I think that's a good sign of you being together. Of you being able to stay together, I should say.
Yeah.
I am very mindful that like, statistics are a real thing. And I think you need to look at your own personality, your own life story, like how comfortable have you been with change or like comfort in general? Like I'm somebody like I think one way you can look at it is like our working habits. Like how many of us has found a job and like the job's basic and it's like we like it, but then we're always looking for something more. We're always looking for the next step. I think us asterisk against what our experience is because we're still young in our careers. So it's like it's natural to want to keep progressing. But you do have people that are like very like actually once I find a job that I like, this is my job. I'm content. Like as in like I don't need more. I think a lot of the time people think that we're gonna get more outside of our marriage and then outside of their marriage and then that's what you go seeking. So I know I have that personality that I'm always seeking the next level. I'm always seeking more. Once I get comfortable, I almost sometimes get bored.
Yeah.
So I'm mindful of that personality trait going into marriage and I'm hoping that I can fight against it. But I always have in my mind that, I'm not one of those ones that's like, marriage is out of the question. Divorce is out of the question. I don't think I'm going to get divorced ever. Like, I'm not married, but I don't think I'm going to get divorced. I think I'm going to be a one and done person. But I'm not naive to the fact that that's a possibility. Like, if I could rate it on a spectrum, like, I don't think it's ever like 100% on 100%. It's like, I'm 90% sure that I'm not going to get divorced. But I'm very mindful that people that have been in love have been divorced. So, just because of that 10% of risk, I'm prepared for that. Like, I'm prepared to be like, actually, if this happens, then this is what I will do. I'm not prepared I'm optimistic enough to not get things like a prenup. Yeah. But like, I understand that there is a potential of me getting divorced. And I actually think prenups are very good indicators of what people think. Getting a prenup or any sort of like agreement of marriage where you take your assets back, that shows you that, you've got in your mind at least 1% that, things might go left sort of thing.
So, it's insurance though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but how do you feel about that? Do you not feel like, okay, cool, you're not coming into a marriage. If you have something with a lot to lose, of course, that your mindset is that you want to be with this person forever, but like you're not naive to understand that 50% of marriages go
Yeah,
to
so
failure.
that exactly, yeah. But that means you're not going into marriage thinking.
No, but you still can. So it's just
100%. I'm gonna be with the person
I drive my
like.
car every day, and I don't think I'm gonna go into a car crash. But I take insurance because like I want to go make sure in the event of a car crash.
Yeah, so you know that there's a possibility. Like you don't get into your car thinking 100% you're not gonna crash.
Yeah, of course.
And it's mandatory for us to get insurance. That's what I'm saying. We have to get insurance. If we had a choice.
If it was an asset, if it was an asset that you really like, that was valuable to you, like, don't you think it's worth protecting it? Even if there was a 1% chance.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like even 1% shows that you're not 100%. You're not 100% convinced that you're going to spend your life with this person, and I think sometimes we perceive marriage as that.
No one thinks 100% though. If anyone that says that, they're lying.
There's some people that don't get prenup. Like, in fact, a lot of extremely rich people do not get prenup. And the only I
think the only reason why they do that is because the pressure on their wife. The women have like, I feel like, if they did it, then they won't be with that person because that person will see them as not being true love. Even if they had an independent thought and they could actually do it, 100% they would get a prenup.
Yeah, maybe that's true. But yeah, I do think there are some people that genuinely believe they get into marriage. Some of the richest people, or the people with the best assets, or you don't even have to be rich, but I guess it's about the balance of finances in that relationship. Some of the people that have all of the finance, and they still don't have prenups.
But I would say the majority of people that do would. I think what you're saying is like a very like small proportion. I couldn't imagine a lot of situations where extremely wealthy people.
We have bare situation. The richest person in the world at one time, Jeff Bezos, didn't have a prenup, and on half of his finance got bit, and he was the richest person in the world at the time.
Sometimes I see it from the other angle though, where I might be deeply in love with you, but in terms of the prenup, I can't 100% trust her that she's in love with me, if you get what I mean. Because I know I've got so much money, I've got so much celebrity status or whatnot, she might not 100% want me for me. I 100% want her for her. So that's why I might get the prenup for that reason as well.
But and then somebody would go into that saying like, oh, okay, why are you marrying me then? That might be the bribe that comes, because it's like, actually, should you be getting married to a person that you're not 100% sure about? At least that's what society says.
But Iman's saying that he's 100% sure about her. But he's not convinced.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, should you be getting married to me if you're not 100% convinced
but obviously some people have ulterior motives. Obviously, there's some people that literally go into
marriage.
That's
what I know. But like,
you wouldn't know that though.
Should you be getting married to me if you're not 100% sure? Like, you should be 100%.
Of course, you shouldn't. But ethically, you shouldn't.
But you can never be 100%. That's the problem.
That's the thing society isn't honest about. I think. Like, I feel like marriage, you have to act like, you're 100. You can't say, like, even if we was to say now, like, we're getting married, I'm not 100% certain, and that was to come out, the world will slander you for that. They'll be like, why are you getting married then if you're not 100%? And even your partner will say to you, if you're not 100% about
but people need to be more honest, like, and just say to themselves, like, look, I've said I love you, I want to be with you, but like, the main
thing, you're saying that now, but you wouldn't even tell your girl that. You wouldn't tell the woman that you're ready to marry that I'm not 100% sure about you. You can't say that. You just can't.
You wouldn't.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
No, you can't.
You can't say I'm 99. You can't even say I'm 99.9%.
You can.
You can't.
You gotta be.
You can.
You can say it in your head.
You can say it in your head, but you can't say it in person.
You should be able to say that.
You should be able to.
You should be able to say that. Like, so. I would encourage people, like, just be honest. Like, don't.
But you wouldn't do that yourself.
No one would do that. No one would do. Why
you can't even encourage somebody to do it, because that's dumb, because that's going to ruin your relationship. So
but I don't understand why people have to go and feel that level of confidence here when they, like, 98.8% is domestos. That shit kills 99.8% of germs, bro. That's a good percent. There's no germs on your toilet. That's you're very safe.
They're not 100% sure. That's so funny.
That's a good percentage.
Like,
why are people not taking 99.8% as accurate?
Everyone's the 100%.
Everyone just wants it to be 100%.
Yeah, and that's lies. And we can lie. And it's cool to lie. And everyone can be that game where everyone's lying with each other and they can do all that stuff.
That's the game we're in, and you're in that game as well. Because even in your status now, you wouldn't say to the person you're about to marry that I'm not 100. You can't say that, bro. I'm not 100% sure about you. That's postponed marriage.
Your wedding speech, you're gonna say, I was 100% certain you're the right person.
I know for a fact.
Especially if you're the guy, you can't say that.
You can't say that as a guy. 100.
You touched on. There's one thing I want to touch on, divorce. But we'll touch on that afterwards, because you touched on something beforehand, and that was in terms of the time frame of getting to know someone. And you said you kind of need to know someone for a long period of time before you can get married to that person. Is that still the case as you get older? Let's just say hypothetically, we're all single, and then we're all 38. You haven't got kids yet. You want to have kids. and stuff like that. Do you feel like you still need to know someone for a considerable amount of time before you get married to them? For example, 5 years, or do you feel like you can get to know someone in a year? That's sufficient time for you to know whether you want to marry that person or not.
I think like there's a lot of nuance to that in itself. I think getting to know somebody doesn't always just depend on time. I would say time is a huge factor, but like actually time spent, as in like how much contact time you have with them. That's a very good way to get to know them. How many scenarios have you encountered within that time? If all of your time is just holidays abroad, that's a very specific kind of time where you're not seeing them in a various scenarios. So I would say that plays a factor as well. I think I'm very much for taking as much time as you can to assess somebody. So like, 5 years is fantastic, great. 3 years plus 2 years. So it's like you've had at least giving yourself the opportunity to see them in a range of scenarios. But I get that as you get older, like there's just more pressure and you're less patient, they're less patient. You need to move things on. Like I get time as a social construct, but it's also a biological construct, as in like, as the longer you go on, the less likely you are to be able to make children. So there's things that you need to think about that fast track the process. So that's what I would say. But I'm still for taking as much time. I also think the older you get, the older people are, the more they know themselves, the more confident they are to be themselves. So I think like in your early 20s, like you can't even say you really truly know somebody. You might know somebody at that time, but they're still developing so much. At least at maybe like 35 or like mid 30s, you've got near enough the finished product, or like
had a lot of experiences.
Exactly. And I think people are more confident to show them their true selves as well. So in that regard, I think actually you can say you'll get to know somebody quicker when you're older. But I'm still for taking as much time as you need.
I think what you said is facts, but I think all it comes down to is just intention, because the time you can spend 2 years or 3 years with someone and you can be chilling, like you can spend time with them, but it's not as meaningful time. So you could be watching Netflix or whatever, which is not a bad way to go and spend time to get to know someone. But I feel like you need to go, like the time that you spent with someone when it's a lot more intentional, knowing that every moment you're with that person, you're kind of thinking about what does that future look like with that person.
Getting to know them.
Are you getting to know them to understand their behaviors and assessing it as, is this someone I could potentially be living with or raising my kids? If you come about with that sort of mentality, then your time that you spent with them will be accelerated, because it's a lot more, I don't know, like meaningful contact time that you're spending with them. I know for a fact when I was younger, like when I was in my early 20s, I would spend time, but I wouldn't say that's meaningful time, because it was just like I was very relaxed and chilled. So when I spent time, I was happy to just chill and do nothing, or like just lips.
but lipsing is meaningful time.
No, but it's meaningful time. But like,
I hear what you're saying.
But like, it's not the same in it. Like lipsing, and then actually getting to speak to someone and be like, okay, like, how do you envision a family? What do you feel like? How do you want to raise your kids? How would you deal with conflict? What is things that you would want from a partner? Like all of them, when you start getting to that point, which I didn't do. I only started doing that recently.
Yo, it's Manny from Past the Meerkat. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.